spawning in the top left, in the pink or the yellow, or this is like tan. It is OyA G.
That's red.
It's red now.
And cross position spawning at the bottom right. In blue, we have Gosudark. All right, cross position already.
Yeah. So rush distance is about as long as they get, and it is a 4-player map. It is a ramped map. Generally, you know, the thing with ramps is you can kind of more consistently go for stuff like 1-gate robotics builds into reavers, whereas, you know, if it's like no ramp, if it's like reverse ramp, the threat of dragoons is just so heavy that you can't necessarily play that defensive reaver style. But like you mentioned earlier, Koget, there's a strong possibility, especially because we're looking at Gosudark here. I mean, he might pull something out of the bag.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He may also feel that OyA is a little bit favored against him. I think you know, overall maybe, and that's why he would like to cut some corners. Logically, this of course speaks for a build like quick reaver expand, you know, very quickly and try to get an observer reaver fast to hold him pretty much anything on cross position. But again, this doesn't mean this is going to happen. What is the cross count from OyA? Am I seeing this right? Sorry, from Gosudark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So already trying to throw some shenanigans. I mean, he's going to find him, but 2-gate from OyA.
I like this because actually OyA is the type of player to center 2-gate, especially in a situation like this. So Gosudark actually playing really well, and not just that, this 2-gate play here sometimes is quite strong, especially if it gets scouted a bit later. But first scout here and cross spawn, so Gosudark has more than enough time to react to this, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him just not do anything special at all, because the in-base, I mean, the in-base 2-gate is going to take forever to get across the map.
I agree. He needs to be careful though. He's mining with 3 probes, so he seems to be quite committed to a gas build. I don't think, but I actually believe that when OyA reaches bottom right, well, he's gonna send his 3 zealots for sure, but there's no way he's gonna commit to anything more. Just recognizing the fact that it's cross position. So Gosudark, without, you know, cutting any economy, not adding any kind of panic, 2nd gate, you know, to match that zealot count. He recognizes cross position. He recognizes he's not really in danger. OyA already adding his gas. So I would say it's a nice build order advantage for Gosudark, although he still needs to hold this well. But I think with a goon already in the making, he will be able to meet these zealots far out of his natural to start, you know, sharing the shields already. And when the zealots, if the zealots actually commit into going to the base, maybe 2 zealots will be there to face, you know, another goon and a zealot already. So no damage at all for OyA, I think. The prop's still in the main, sees nothing. What's the follow-up here? I mean, OyA, he needs to add goons for sure, because if you don't have goons, you're just gonna die to goons of your opponent.
He's actually making more zealots.
Yeah, okay, interesting. This is OyA, I mean, that we know, of course. He will test Gosudark's multitasking to his limits. He's probably gonna send those across to maybe try some kind of single zealot backstabs. But again, as I said, this dragon meeting the zealots far outside of the natural. Before they walk up the run, there's gonna be a 2nd dragoon already there. So these are just 3 zealots. I mean, I don't believe he's gonna lose any probes, maybe 1 probe. I don't know if 2 probe is even realistic here. Gosudark countering this correctly, he will not lose anything.
Yeah, it's all about the micro. Can he pull the probe that's getting focused? The 1 probe goes down. Well,
he has to be careful. 3 zealots force. Zealot is more damaged.
I think,
2 probes.
2 probes.
And a zealot? No, he's not targeting a zealot. He could have got a zealot too. That would be huge. That would actually be not so bad. Now hiding the zealots, of course, 1 behind the mineral, 1 to the natural, making sure that if Gosudark ever moves out, there's gonna be a backstop, and it will already happen now. Yeah, Gosudark not expecting this. I think the zealot is going into the main, right? Yeah, the zealot is in the main.
Yeah, but Gosudark's expanding, so he's actually keeping his dragoons at. Yeah, I mean, I really like this from Gosudark, and he gets the rescout off. Oh my god, that's huge. So now he knows everything. He sees there's no citadel. Gosudark is in such a good spot here, Koget. I don't know. I mean, he knows there's no DTs, doesn't have to put down a forge. He can match this dragoon count because, you know, although OyA is on 2-gate, I mean, OyA is on 2-gate, but his range not quite done yet. And Gosudark has been pumping Dragoons nonstop off this one gate. So right now, I think it's 2 goons to 3. And by the time there's a 4th goon for OyA, I mean, there's going to be a 4th goon and a 2nd gate here for Gosudark and this Nexus. So I like that OyA, though, he did see... So scouting information is everything in this matchup, right? OyA did see that there was an expansion, so he can safely take his and not be too far behind. But I think
it is too far behind.
Yeah.
Although supplies, I mean, say something else, right? OyA has been consistently making probes. I mean, his Nexus has been blinking for all the time. I actually, visually, it seems like he has got like 4 or 5 probes more than Gosudark. Gosudark also, he's been floating 500 gas for a while before he added Robo. So, you know, his economy has not been fully optimized for the build order that he's going for. Therefore, you know, OyA with maybe, you know, a little bit of a disadvantage from the beginning. He got 2 probes there with Zealots. His Nexus is later, but his supply is different. Of course, his tech is also a little bit behind. But again, as long as he stays on that ramp, he doesn't allow any aggression, he will, you know, catch up in economy, because I do believe he's been just cutting less probes. And when this Nexus becomes operational, he will slowly but surely equalize the position.
Yeah, you make a good point, man, because I do think he hasn't, like you said, he hasn't been cutting probes because he's just been on 2 gate. Sometimes you see Protosses, especially when they're on 2 gate, they have to start cutting probes at some point to get the robotics up. This game, though, because he was up in Gosudark's face and then confirmed the Nexus, he knows that Gosudark doesn't have a DT follow-up either. He doesn't need to get that robotics. So overall, despite the fact that that was a really good opening overall, like conceptually, or at least theoretically for Gosudark, it seems like OyA has piloted it better regardless. I mean, he has a small supply lead. I mean, this game's pretty much even, but it should definitely have been much better for Gosudark. Oh, Gosudark does have reaver tech, though. That is the X factor here.
For sure, yeah. His observer and reaver will be faster. Maybe even up to 1 reaver. I mean, you know, 1 production cycle of a shuttle or reaver. So for defense, you know, absolutely crushing advantage. For attack, though, again, this is cross position, so I don't think he can use for it. So the battle of minds, in my view now, is what is the next move? I don't think it's attacking. I don't think any of the players has had any advantage to actually initiate an attack. You have that high ground yet again, right? If you want to actually engage, there is that high ground that can probably be, maybe, you know, if you have like 2 reavers and a shuttle, you can micro yourself into that position. But it's not something that you can do, you know, over next minute or 2. You need a lot of units, maybe some, you know, some zealots and so to be able to attack high ground. And none of the players is interested in doing this. I mean, I don't feel like OyA is interested in doing this. He knows he's been behind and he's catching up. Gosudark, despite being confident, you know, he also didn't really do any damage. He will now spot the same buildings from OyA, which kind of like discourages you from, you know, being an aggressor, because you kind of feel, okay, he did the same stuff as I did, right? I don't think that Gosudark knew exactly the timing of the Nexus 2. He will click on the minerals to see how far behind he is, but again, with the saturation of probes, it may actually be not that far. Supply also.
That's a good point. I mean, especially you can always check that mineral count, though. That is sometimes hard to have the presence of mind, but I am surprised that Gosudark is... I mean, I totally agree with you, Koget, and looking at the game here, they're basically even. But psychologically, if you're Gosudark, you're thinking, okay, I stopped the 2 gate and took my Nexus right away, so I should have an advantage, right? But it looks like he's actually just recognizing that no, it's pretty much even, and it picks off the observer, which is huge, because in this matchup, obviously, you only have 1 robotics and it's always being used for shuttle reaver, so that's a good pick off. But looks like OyA is already transitioning into Citadel.
For sure, you need to do it. I mean, as we talked, you can't really use your goon reaver army to attack. I mean, you can in theory, but it's just going to be super risky. You know, you're going to base this on your micro. So I think it's the 3rd base and the additional tech that matters. And Forge for OyA already been spinning for a while. He got a faster 2nd gas also. So he will get the Psystorm, Archons, you know, access to this kind of tech also earlier. And I think Gosudark actually may have 2 probes in his natural gas again, which will super limit his, you know, composition going onwards. Yeah, it is. Okay, now he added a 3rd probe as we looked at it. So well spotted there by him. But again, his upgrades are late. I think his gateways are late. Look at the supply. 12 difference, so it's like 6 zealots maybe. Round of zealots of production ahead for OyA. He's slowly looking to take third base.
This is a good timing though for Gosudark because he has a shuttle and it's catching OyA in the transitional phase. Ooh, the reaver! Oh, that was a sick pickup actually from Gosudark, and it's catching OyA in the transition phase into the zealots. He doesn't have zealot speed just yet, so this competition for Gosudark is so much stronger, but he has to keep these reavers alive. He is attacking against the high ground. It's all about how much damage these reavers can do. The shuttle and one reaver goes down, but as the dust settles, actually, they're very even in supply, and without the shuttle, man, I feel like Gosudark barely missed there because now zealot speed is probably almost done. He has 5-6 gates there, OyA does. He can probably reinforce this. Catches the reaver as well.
And it's high ground versus low ground now. He's walking up his dragoons to catch this additional unit, but the reinforcements, I mean, again, we knew that they are very close to each other. Great pickup on reavers. They're lifting his own reavers to create that advantage. But ultimately, additional zealots, the high ground advantage for OyA that he had when the goons pushed back a little bit. Now look at this. Is it 20 supplies difference? Am I saying this correctly?
Yeah. There you are.
Now
totally
he caught up a little bit.
Correctly.
Wow. Okay, now it has equalized because he started to build some units. But again, OyA recognizes no problem. I'm gonna land my third nexus. Why should I push for this? This is cross position. His reinforcements will be there in place before I arrive. I lost my reavers. I don't have any potential attack. I'm gonna back off, and he's gonna win on this. I mean, the Dark Templar here, his Templar archives are ready, so we're gonna see Archons and maybe Storm Drops coming into play very soon. And of course, that third base, I think that's most important. Gosudark, I think he believes that OyA is maybe not all in, but you know, he wants to be aggressive again. He lost that observer, anticipating a move out from units. He's not even thinking about taking a third base. Look at this. He's sitting at his base and trying to rebuild his army.
Gosudark's in a really tough spot because he basically, you know, Dragoon Reaver is the ultimate composition until a fight like that where you lose a lot of your supply, and then Zealots get started mixing in, as well as Archons, Templars. And so Gosudark, unfortunately, infrastructure-wise, he's massively behind. I mean, OyA already has his Templar archives out. He's going for Storm Drops, which are king in this matchup. And, you know, Gosudark instead, he's only building his Templar archives now. And like you mentioned, I mean, the third base is done for OyA. So despite the fact that the supplies are relatively even.
Start a shuttle.
Yeah, with Templar.
Gosudark, he doesn't have a third base yet, meaning all of his economy is in these two bases.
Yeah.
It's actually not that extremely saturated, but a Storm Drop like this in PvP, it can just end the game. I mean, losing 20 probes like this, there is no way to recover. You have to take what you have and attack, because otherwise you're going to be ungrown at such a pace that you're never going to catch up. So that Storm Drop slowly approaching the natural base. There is no vision from Gosudark, no pylons. So this, he will have maybe a second to react before the storms lands. I mean, this is going to be crucial for the game. This may be a first win for OyA. He's adding a cannon now, anticipating something, but look at this. Oh, it lands.
Unfortunately, those are Templar, not Vultures. Storm, super massive, just kills everything, and with only 2 Nexuses, it's going to be really long until he can replace those probes, and OyA behind this is mining off an extra base, so yeah, I think that might signal Gosudark that, you know, you have to just go and attack and try and make something happen, because if this status quo is maintained here, Gosudark is going to just be at a severe economic disadvantage.
Okay, Archons are joining the army, had some gas safe for those. The shuttle is there, he will pick up the reavers. I mean, he needs to go now for sure. The question is, I mean, how well positions OyA will be. Right now, his army is split into 2. But again, that could be a pretty reasonable flank also if Gosudark decides to approach from the ramp to the natural base. So it could actually be a very good defensive position. But maybe if Gosudark... Oh, there's another shuttle. If Gosudark engages at the third base and clears the goons, while having some juicy reaver shots, could still come back into this game. I mean, this is PvP. We know that the fight, how you take the fight is most important here. As you know, you build up this army so long, so that fight is really crucial. There's, you know, rarely a second chance. And look at this, the guns unreveal themselves. or reveal themselves, sorry. And now the Zealots connect. The Archons are in a good position, taking a lot of damage from the Zealots. The Storms are great though. The Reavers are shooting.
Oh my god. Gosudark's composition though is crazy. I mean, he has the Archons. They're so powerful in this situation. It's all about
the Reavers.
Reavers equalize it for OyA. Gee, so far, I mean, a lot of the Zealots died. This is really close, Kogi. Look at the supplies.
This is exactly what I was talking about. The goons from behind, rather than being a flank, they become a liability because the Zealots went on them. The Storms were not strong enough, and actually now he's pushing the issue into natural. If he can reinforce this, another Storm drop clearing all of
oh my god.
So this is great for him. This is the last attack for Gosudark for sure, but the question is if this is also going to be the last attack for OyA. If he cannot hold it, the Storm lands on the Reaver, doesn't kill it. I mean, this looks rough.
OyA's dead, man. That was... You saw how many probes died?
Oh, this is GG!
Oh my god, that was so close, dude.